Wuhai, Kamustika, welcome. How are you? This is Bob from Love Beyond the Sea. I'm going to continue here, part 2 of a video I'm calling 8 Ways I Care About What My Filipinas Family Thinks of Me. I think that's important. I'll tell you why. I did a couple of ways in the last video, and so I'm going to list off 6 more ways here I care about what my Filipinas family thinks of me. Please subscribe to Love Beyond the Sea. I have a channel here developed and devoted to helping men who, like me, are interested, or at one time I was, in marrying a Filipina, and now I have been for 7 years. So I want to share to you what I've learned, try to cover as many things as I can think of. I'm not really influenced by what I see on YouTube for videos, topics for this. I just try to use from my own experience and what I've gleaned from other couples over the years. Just whatever I think guys need to know. So let's look at, I think, 6 more here. And one would be that I let my wife visit the Philippines whenever possible. I think this shows that I care about what my Filipinas family thinks of me. Now, of course, there's money involved with very long distance travel like this, international travel. But my wife has worked full-time for about 6 years. That helps her to buy a plane ticket from America to the Philippines. And this helps in a couple ways. One is my wife can be with her beloved family for a few weeks, and 2, her family gets the pleasure of seeing her again. We usually kind of get family together in a van if we have to, and travel to different places and hopefully see places they haven't been to before. So her parents, I'm sure, are grateful to see her again, other family and friends. I try to have the philosophy that if something's good for my wife, it's good for me too. Another way, I talk to her family, try to. They don't have to be fluent in English or confident in the way they speak it, but what matters to me, therefore, to them, is that I make an attempt, to converse a little bit, say hello, how you doing, good morning. It's just mainly about the connection. We don't really engage in, I would call, conversations because of the language difference, or if they're too shy to really try to talk English with me. The main thing is that I am available and I make an attempt to relate to them, to acknowledge them in some way. I am sure my wife appreciates that too. There have been a couple of new children, probably more than that, several, in the last few years that my wife loves dearly, and I say hello to them, tell them I love them, how sweet they are, even if they can't understand me. Young children there can now say my name. They're getting older. I want my wife to see that I care about the children, and also I want to establish a relationship with those kids so they grow up always knowing that I cared about them. Another way, I ask my wife about her family. When I ask my wife questions about her family, the children, what's new with everybody, etc., is their health going, and so on, I am showing her that they are on my mind because they matter to me. I want to remember what she tells me. That way I can be aware of what's happening, which gives us something good and important to talk about that, means something to her. Another way is by showing affection towards my wife. That's in their presence. Sometimes when she's doing a webcam with family, I'll sneak into the view and, kiss my wife on the cheek. On the times I've been in the Philippines, I'm affectionate to her by holding her hand, rubbing her back, holding her close to me. This has never been something I've been uncomfortable doing. We have always interacted the same way in front of her family as we do here in America, where my mother lives with us. I want to do everything I can so that her family realizes I'm there for them, and I appreciate being able to marry the one who is their daughter and sister. Photos of us, another thing I thought of. This isn't something I initiate, but I'm glad that my wife has taken many, many photos so we can show to her family of us being happy together. If they, didn't exist, there weren't such photos, they might wonder how we're really getting along. Yes, we have moments of conflict, believe you me, which is normal in relationships, especially marriage, especially, the relationships that are most intimate. But I want them to see pleasant photos of us, for my wife to be able to honestly tell them that I am being good to her. And let's see, one last way, a little way, but I think it means something to her and them, and that would be to refer to her family as my family or our family. I do it sometimes too, and I catch myself, but I don't like referring to her family as they, because it sounds kind of impersonal and not really combative, but just like oppositional. The family I spent so much time with preparing for our wedding and then afterwards, and that we've been to and seen 5 times, they are my family. We would be seeing them a lot, if we ever retired in the Philippines, because we built a house there. There's lots of space for family. My wife is the same way over here in the States with the small number of family members we have here. But she fits in very well because she tries to. And she wants them to think well of her. That's what she wants. As her husband, I greatly appreciate that. I care how I am thought of by the family of my love beyond the sea.